What's up and welcome to Corbin Presents. It is a good day today. We are interviewing someone because it's Tuesday. You know how we roll. We've got Kris in with us. We used to go to school together. He used to be a year below me. They're doing a thing called the Expedition. So we're going to talk to him about it. How you doing? Good?
Yeah. Just came into the studio and left my keys in the car.
Lovely.
So just back and forth with the NRMA coming back. Anyway, so I'm a little bit worried with the trip. You know, I'm a little disorganised when it comes to that kind of stuff.
So you guys are basically doing a trip on bikes.
Yep, quad bikes.
Quad bikes. Yep. At least you won't be able to lock your keys in.
Yeah, that's a very good point. They'll be there and then I can just grab them and that's it. No doors.
Tell us where this idea came from. It's for charity and tell us what it is.
All right, so it's a 50,000 kilometre overland challenge. So obviously, as you mentioned, we're trying to raise $100,000 minimum for Southern African Hood Lively program for Oxfam Australia. Sure. So what we're doing is we're starting off in Istanbul and then we're grabbing our quad bikes and riding the entire European continent. We're dissecting the east coast of Africa and coming back to Sydney for our Welcome Home event 1 year later. So it's 34 countries and 3 continents, and it's myself and 2 other friends that are going on this wild epic adventure.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do you think you're going to hit that $100,000?
Yeah. So
how's it looking? How does that work?
I think the most important thing is that we've set out some form of strategy, and it's getting with the school students and reaching to a number of different communities like churches and things like that, where we can actually speak with people and tell them about what we're doing. It's a slow start, but I think it's important that once something like this gets the word out there, and it's just about creating that momentum.
Sure. Is a lot of something like this, is it awareness as well for you guys? I mean, obviously it's to raise money, but to notify people that this is going on in these parts of the world, and we're trying to better these people's lives.
I agree with you. I mean, for me, it's the inspiration of just hope, because I guess where the poverty kind of heart for me came from was when I was in India, and I remember going down this street in Chennai, and I remember looking at not just the kids, it's really the adults. They've just completely lost hope, and I think it's a reminder that we all live in a connected world. So just because they're in India or they're in Africa or they're in South America, it doesn't necessarily mean that that we should just forget them. And I guess it's somewhat hard because you're traveling around the world, you've got your own life.
Yeah, everyone gets so caught up in their own lives, they kind of forget that. But I mean, I suppose it only takes one trip to a place that's like that, and you kind of go, yeah, well, I'm pretty lucky where I live.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that's, when anyone goes traveling, they just usually go home, especially Australia's such a good country. You go in there and you're just like, whoa, we've got everything that we need. Where we need hope, we actually have it because our government protects us, or, we've got good structures. But I mean, other places, there's really nothing, Sure. So it's important for people to be aware of this kind of stuff. And that's why it's important for us to film it and make sure that, the right people get on board and just see what an epic adventure it is. But also on top of that, there is a good underlining message that sits underneath it. Awesome. You guys are doing good things. I want to talk lots more about it. We're going to go to another skate show right now, and we'll be back with Kris from the Expedition. Welcome back to Corbin Presents. Let's get straight into it. What made you guys pick poverty? So it started off with the trip being a normal trip where everyone's kind of like, oh, let's go away, let's do something exciting. And then we're like, no, let's actually do something that's worthwhile. Let's actually bring something out to the community that we belong to. And we're looking at the Millennium Development Goals that set by the UN for 2015, and the #1 goal is actually eradicating extreme poverty and hunger. Right. So we're like, okay, well, if that's where our governments are looking forward, changing, let's actually look towards doing something along those lines. And obviously my own trip and Jamie's trips to Africa, he's been there 15 times, really kind of said, yeah, let's do this, because for me, inspiration is the most important thing. And then that kind of story was, where I was aware that poverty really did exist, and that was quite confronting when I was in India.
Right.
So,
and what were you guys, just out of interest, what were you guys doing before this?
So I'm still at a firm called Accenture doing business consulting.
Yep.
Jamie is working for a very successful, he's a sales manager for a printing company called Caladad, and it's an inkjet inkjet company.
Yep.
And Valerio works in a media agency, so he's a general manager there.
So obviously you're not going to be able to keep your jobs.
Yeah.
What you're doing, like, it's a pretty big move, you know? Like, it's a pretty big move to actually be like, okay, we're doing this. There must be so much preparation too.
Yeah, it's been about 2 years worth of prep work for this. And I mean, coming back from, just as I said, I'm pretty much a professional person.
Yep.
I've worked a professional life, and, to set out on the road is kind of completely out of, I'm really just challenging the status quo of not even life, but of myself. Because I'm not used to that kind of extreme.
It would kind of make sense for me that it would be someone in surfing or motocross or, to do something like this. It would, obviously to film it and stuff. It kind of goes hand in hand because that's what we do every day.
Yeah.
I travel, I'd be on 50 planes a year, back and forth. But for you guys, it's kind of like, you're stopping your job and you're getting into it. Is this been like a goal, a passion for years, or since you've been younger, or?
I think it's
because I've been doing it for 13 years, and obviously it's, you know what I mean, how it works. It kind of just, it's a step process. And you guys, or has it just been one day you kind of wake up and be like, you know what, let's do something?
I guess I'll speak for myself here. It's I've read a lot about improving myself, in specific areas in life, and I'd love to say one day that I'd have my kid and say, this is my story. And I guess I was always waiting for that big hit moment where I'm like, let me do something great in my life. You get to skate, you get heaps of people crowded around, but for a lot of us, we sit at an office desk and we're just like, yeah, this is kind of cool, sending emails and making business decisions. So it was kind of like I knew I had something to give, I just didn't know where to go. And I guess this kind of fell into my lap, and then we just created it. And it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And for me, that was kind of where it all became. It was just like, I've got to do something else. I've got to try something different because, for the next 35 years, I will be working, you won't. I will be working, so...
Hey, who knows? Touch wood, mate. I don't know how much my body can keep up with it.
So, yeah, it's, that's when I was like, okay, I've got to do something now because, I'm 26, things are starting to get serious,
really serious at 26.
House, wife and things like that, girlfriends and things like that. Things are starting to get serious, so it was time to say, all right, let's just take something, let's just do something extreme, and
I think it's cool. I think for me, the coolest factor is one, that you're doing it for charity and obviously and getting some money and doing it for those guys. I think two, personally for you guys to actually pack up like a normal life is pretty awesome as well. It's good. It's good. All right, we're going to talk more about it and throw some questions at him later. Have some fun with it here on Corbin Presents. Talk soon. Welcome back to Corbin Presents. Kris, the trip's going to be a big one. It's a year.
Yeah.
Can you give us, and we'll probably talk to you after, hopefully, if you guys can come on.
That'd be really, really
You're probably
good.
Rich and famous and popping bowls of champagne and forget about old Corbin Presents over here. What do you reckon is going to be a highlight for you?
I think it's just going to be the people that I meet. I think that's the most exciting thing, understanding the culture and, hopefully, no accidents, no, incidents along those lines, like me leaving my brake light on and losing the battery. So I'm hoping that stuff doesn't happen because I will be stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And no idea what to do. So.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to fire a couple of quick fire questions off to you that we have here and we ask everyone. So answer them however you like. Tattoos.
Like them.
Okay.
Got one myself. Long story about that.
Can we have a highlights version of the story?
Ex-girlfriend did it.
Okay, right, that's a good one. With a gun herself?
Yeah, with a gun herself.
Awesome, I love those ones. All right, tight jeans.
Look at me, I'm wearing tight jeans now.
Okay.
I love them, I love them.
The best thing about your job, working with this?
Challenging myself, just continually stretching myself forward. That's definitely the highlight, You hit walls and you just got to continue to battle through them.
Sure.
Life lessons.
The worst thing?
Team dynamics. We're all friends and we're all working towards a goal, and I think all our heads kind of bash at certain times. And
when you're spending that much time with anyone, let me tell you, in any way, whether you're surfing, skateboarding, you're in a Tarago with people, whether you're at work, it always happens, but that's good. You guys are doing good things. If you weren't doing this and there'd be any other job that you might be doing out there once you finish school, what do you reckon that would be?
A I'd say Hugh Hefner. Yeah, only Playboy.
That's a good one. We've had that one before. Kris, thank you very much for coming on the show. Give us a plug right now. Tell us exactly what's going on, where everyone can follow you at.
All right, cool, Corbin. Everyone can follow us on at www.expedition.org.au. And obviously we're on Facebook and Twitter as well, but everything leads from there. So I'll see you guys online.
Awesome.
And yeah.
You're doing good things. You're doing good things. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.